Hello everyone, my name is Chloe and today I am here with a brand new video. Today I am here with my final anticipated releases video of 2021 and we're going to be talking about my anticipated releases for October through December. Before we get started, make sure you go ahead and click that subscribe button and click the bell so you can be notified for when I post new videos. This is probably going to be my shortest of the anticipated releases videos from this year because I only have about 6 or 7 books to talk about. So we're just going to jump right in and get started with October. I only have one anticipated release for October and it is coming out on October 19th and that is Well Matched by Jen DeLuca. This is the next in the Well Met series. I'm not sure if it's a trilogy, if there's going to be more after this book. This one is following a character that is seen throughout the first 2 books. I want to say her name is April. I don't know why I can't remember it right now, but it is following her and another male character who is also seen throughout the other 2 books. This is a Renaissance Fair romance. The things this town is known for is their Renaissance Fair every summer, and there's a bunch of participants, and all 3 main characters in each of the books are participants of this Renaissance Fair. The first book in this series, Well Met, was probably my absolute favorite of the series. It's definitely going to end up on my best books of 2021. So we're going to go ahead and jump into November now, and I have the most releases in November. The first one coming out on November 2nd is something that has been long awaited for me, and that is Girls of Fate and Fury by Natasha Ngan. This is the 3rd book in the Girls of Paper and Fire trilogy. Originally we thought it was going to be a duology, but that 2nd book ended on a major cliffhanger, so I'm really excited to see what is going on with our main characters in this 3rd book. I know that this book has been pushed back a couple of times, but it's finally supposed to be coming out next month, and I am so excited to read it and find out how this series ends. And that's saying something because it takes a lot for me to find a fantasy that I really enjoy, and this was definitely one of them. Next, probably my most anticipated release of the year is Gilded by Marissa Meyer. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I don't like this cover. This is probably one of the ugliest covers that Marissa Meyer has ever had, but I did pre-order the original edition, but I also pre-ordered the Fairy Loot edition, which is absolutely gorgeous. I had to have that one for my collection. Marissa Meyer is going back to her retelling's roots, and this is going to be a Rumpelstiltskin retelling. My exposure to Rumpelstiltskin has been in the form of Shrek 4 and Once Upon a Time, which Once Upon a Time is my favorite TV show ever, so that's mostly how I see Rumpelstiltskin. But also I think that this is, in this retelling, Rumpelstiltskin is actually a woman, so it's gonna be a little different. I'm so pumped for this book, and I'm so excited. I love Marissa Meyer's work so much, and I'm hoping I really enjoy this one, especially since I bought 2 copies of it. Next, coming out on November 9th is Lumberjanes Volume 20, End of Summer. So originally in my last anticipated releases, I talked about Lumberjanes Volume 19 coming out, which was supposed to be the final issue, but that ended on a cliffhanger, so this is actually going to be the final volume in the series. Honestly, I'm really glad that it's ending on Volume 20 and not Volume 19 anyway, so it rounds everything out. That's just me though. Lumberjanes was a series that I kind of binge read during the summer when I was looking for summer camp books, and I got really into it, and now the final one is coming and I'm ready to wrap up the series. And lastly, for November, coming out on November 16th, we have The Singles Table by Sarah Desai. My first exposure to Sarah Desai was actually from my very first Book of the Month box. Her book, The Dating Plan, was in the January Book of the Month box, so I ended up picking that one, and I really enjoyed it. She's also written another book called The Marriage Game. That was her debut, but I've never read that one before, but I am excited to read that. I'm hoping that The Singles Table is offered as a Book of the Month edition, at least an add-on, so I can get a matching edition. I know The Marriage Game I don't think is a Book of the Month edition, so we're going to be a little mismatched if I ever get the other one. And this follows a character that we met in The Dating Plan. And my last anticipated release, coming out in December, on December 28th, is Here's to Us by Becky Albertalli and Adam Silvera. This is the long-awaited sequel to What If It's Us, also by the same authors, and I don't really know if, I'm assuming we're following the same characters just later on. But I do need to reread What If It's Us to read this one because I remember nothing. I just remember I enjoyed it. So I'm really excited to read another one from these two great authors. Becky Albertalli is an auto-buy author for me. Adam Silvera, I've enjoyed a lot of his contemporary work. I just didn't care for his fantasy work. So this is going to be something that I'm most likely going to enjoy again. That is everything on my most anticipated releases list. It's been a long year full of a lot of releases. I keep a notes on my phone with all the releases, and as I read them, I've been putting check marks next to them, and I'm actually surprised how many have check marks next to them than that don't. Down below in the comments, let me know what your most anticipated releases are for the whole year, or if any of these are something that you are looking forward to. And that is all I have for this video today, so thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed it. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed it. As always, if you like what you see here, please go ahead and click subscribe. I post new videos every week. And if you really like my content, make sure you check out my Patreon, linked in the description below. Thank you all so much. I'll see you in my next video. Bye!
In the darkness, I don't feel so cold. The answers fall like rain, and somehow we're okay. A story drifts between shadows and smoke.